But this led to some people having a bit of a meltdown about it being another player who hasn't really made his impact on the Super League scene already going to the NRL. Do you think it's time to hit the panic button on that, or just a continuation of what we've started to see given the economic powers in Rugby League as they are right now?
I think, well, good on him. He's obviously done something right, and it's not like we have hundreds of players that all go down under. I think, let's just say good on him. Hopefully maybe 2024, 2025 he comes back and plays for a British team.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, let's hope he makes himself an outstanding young centre or winger and something for our national team in World Cups to come. Good luck to him anyway over there. Certainly goes with the best wishes of Super League Pod, like everyone who goes down under does. And we'll follow his progress. There's a couple of lines dropped in today on the Super League. So Toronto Wolfpack have loaned versatile fullback Gareth O'Brien to the Castleford Tigers for the remainder of the current Super League season. O'Brien joins the Tigers following the Wolfpack's decision to withdraw from this year's competition. And the 28-year-old, who can also play in the halves, played twice for Cas back in 2013 and also has Warrington, St Helens and Salford amongst his former clubs. Position that Castleford needed to address, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was sort of a bit of a no surprise, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, you look around the Wolfpack squad and then you look around the Super League squads and see where there's like a sort of talent matching up with a need, and this was definitely the one, like you say, not a shock.
Find the peg and find the hole.
Exactly. Cass have also confirmed that former Toronto and current Halifax prop Dan Fleming will return to the club on a 1-month trial. He made his Super League debut for the Tigers way back in 2013, but has spent the majority of his playing career in the Championship or League One, so good luck to him on his trial.
Are we on to Toulouse?
We're on to the Championship, yes.
Yes. So Toulouse Olympique have completed the signing of Latrell Shankle for the 2021 season. A new international, Shankle, who was 26, previously played in Australia for North Sydney Bears and Newton Jets. The outside back has recently been playing in the French League Championship competition for Villeneuve, scoring 13 tries in 11 games. So another good bit of business there for Toulouse.
And it's a fun name to say as well, isn't it? Shankle.
Yeah, I was looking for a Schmaukel to start with, but then I realised where the M was.
That's a good point. It's one we'll get used to, I'm sure, next season. Toulouse have also actually today confirmed the signing of Lee Centurion's halfback Ben Reynolds for the 2021 season. The 26-year-old returned to Lee this year after a stint with Wakefield in 2019. So he played a couple of years in Super League, didn't he? Ben Reynolds, Castleford product, talented player. So they're really strengthening their reserves for their first team for next year.
Yep. Widnes Vikings have signed 33-year-old Matt Cook from Castleford for 2021. The former Bradford, Hull KR and London forward has played almost 300 times in Super League. Decent signing for them, even if he is knocking on a bit.
Well, he's still performing at the same level he's ever performed at, isn't he, Matt Cook? I think that's what you'd say about Matt Cook. He's not a match winner, but he doesn't lose you any matches either, and he's a 6 out of 10 minimum, but 7 out of 10 maximum kind of guy, isn't he?
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Meanwhile, winger Dion.
Yeah, they've been busy. You got a lot of Widnes to talk about.
Yeah, I was. So yeah. Meanwhile, Dion Cross has signed a new 1-year deal with the club. He scored in all 6 of his Widnes appearances in 2020 before lockdown, following his move from Barrow. Widnes have also re-signed Jake Spedding on a 2-year deal. The 23-year-old joined the club ahead of the 2020 season and scored 4 tries before the season was abandoned. And finally, Widnes are also bringing in 33-year-old prop Lee Jewett from Barrow for 2021. Jewett has previously played for Salford, Castleford and Rovers in Super League, where at the latter he was coached by the current Vikings coach Tim Sheens. However, the club have announced that the Chapel twins, Ted and Jay, as well as Pat Moran and Sam Wild, have all departed to take up full-time contracts. And on this, Tom Andrews got in touch to say the Wizard loves Lee Jewett, pass it on.
Yeah, he had him briefly at Hull KR, I think, when they were seeking when they'd just been re-promoted back into Super League, I think it was. But yeah, lots going on at Widnes actually, because the Widnes forward Kenny Baker has signed a new one-year deal with the club for the 2021 season. The 28-year-old R2D2 joined the Vikings from the North Wales Crusaders ahead of this year, and he made 6 appearances. And club captain Jack Owens has signed a new one-year deal with the club as well ahead of the 2021 campaign. The 25-year-old fullback or winger has scored 52 tries and kicked 256 goals in 103 appearances for the Viking. That's one of the crucial players. We've seen some other crucial players maybe leave that were there in their Super League spell. Jack Owens is one that they will have prioritised, I think.
Yeah, seems like good business for them.
Yeah, and someone else who did some business in the Championship, Featherstone, have confirmed Samoan international Fayumu Brown will join the club next year. The 25-year-old had previously agreed to join the club for the remainder of this year before the season was cancelled. An NRL player with Cronulla and Canterbury, Brown has played 37 NRL games and featured 5 times for Samoa. Yes,
I mean, it's good that they've held on to him.
Yeah, definitely. It's we talked about it about 6 months ago, didn't we? That this is a talent for the Championship level, and finally they will see him still.
Yeah, he's obviously not put himself in the shop window enough.
He could be playing the Super League. Who knows?
Well, this is it. Maybe that's what he's hurting for.
Yeah.
Barrow Raiders have signed former Grand Final winner Sean Lunt. The hooker who won at Old Trafford with Leeds in 2012 will return home to Cumbria with the League One club for the 2021 season. Lunt, who's 33, was with Batley in 2020 after Super League spells with Huddersfield, Leeds and Hull KR. And Tom Andrews said, an awesome signing on and off the field, probably way too good to be in League One, but he's a Cumbrian lad, so imagine he's happy to finish his career back home. Yeah, I mean, I do think he's a good player. I didn't really know why Rovers got rid of him, to be honest.
No, he seems like a good player, seems like a good person. So it's a good person to have around your club, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he'll lead on and off the pitch, won't he?
You would think so, yeah. And any clubs kind of looking for promotion from League One will need that sort of player, because it looks like everyone in League One's trying to sign up that sort of player. Because Keighley have completed the signing of Halifax halfback Scott Morrell for the 2021 season. The 34-year-old made 209 appearances with Halifax in 8 seasons with the club. Halifax have also confirmed the departures of Dan Fleming, Keegan Hurst, Paul Brearley and latterly centre... What's his name? Escapes me because it's not written down on the sheet in front of me. Steve Tyra, who apparently is another one that's going to be going to Widnes. But yeah, so Lunt at Barrow, Morell at Keighley, that's 2 major signings for League One for 2021.
It's really impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. Probably the right stage of their career to be making a step down, but at the same time, they will add something to the teams they're going to.
Yeah, even if they're not able to produce on the pitch regularly, the contribution that they'll have off the pitch, you'd think, would be important.
Yeah, I agree.
Ottawa have also revealed more of their recruits for their debut year in League One in 2021. So halfback Tom Gilmore signs from Halifax. The 26-year-old has spent the majority of his career in Super League, spending 8 seasons with Widnes and making 39 appearances in the top tier. They also announced the signing of Wales hooker Matty Fozzard from London. The 25-year-old St Helens Academy graduate played in the Championship for Sheffield and in Super League with the Broncos. Former Widnes twins Joe and Ted Chapelhow became the 4th and 5th names to join the Aces and stepped down from the Championship to League One for 2021.
Yeah, rumour has it that the other 2 guys from Widnes, Pat Moran and Sam Wilde, might be finding themselves at Ottawa as well. I guess they've put in place a spine, haven't they, now? And it's how they kind of make sure the rest of the squad isn't going to be overpaid around that spine. That'll see if they've learnt any lessons from what Toronto maybe didn't quite get right.
Yeah, be interesting to see.
Definitely. Hunslet have announced that Gary Thornton will remain the club's head coach in 2021. Hunslet have topped the league before the season was suspended and ultimately cancelled. So obviously they want to tie him down and see if they can do the same in 2021.
Yep.
And then another note from League One. Rochdale Hornets have announced that Liam Worley, James Connaughton and Adam Hesketh has re-signed with the club for the 2021 League One season. All three players joined the club ahead of this year's campaign. So Rochdale securing their squad for next year.
Yeah, it's really positive actually, isn't it, to hear how many teams are now able to make these sort of signings and re-signings of players that had signed for this year.
Yeah, I think it underlines what all of the statements have been saying from these clubs, that they kind of appreciate this opportunity to not see the clubs go to the wall this year by forcing action upon them and actually giving them plenty of time to put real plans in place for next year. And they're all clearly doing that with the moves that they're making, aren't they?
Yeah, I just see it as a real positive. And whilst it's disappointing that they've not been able to get playing again this season, it does hopefully sort of secure the longer term future of these clubs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it gives their fans something to be excited about for next year. So it makes people more inclined to go back and buy more season tickets and stuff like that. Fingers crossed that they will be able to be in the stadiums and watch the clubs. But it gives the clubs something to support it gives the fans something to support when the clubs are being active like this.
Yeah. And this is the time you want action, because it's all too easy to sort of think, well, we've not had any rugby for that long. And if you don't announce these signings until October, November time, your plans are that out of touch with you as a club that I think you're going to struggle.
Indeed, yeah. No, I think you're right. I think keeping these kind of things coming through and engaging with the fans in the news cycle and stuff like that's really important, isn't it, this time for those guys?
Yeah.
And finally, and what we'll do, Sarah, is we'll rotate through the different projects here because there's a lot of them to get through.
I was a bit worried thinking it was me that had to do all of them.
But the RFL has announced the latest recipients of funding from Rugby League World Cup 2021, created by Capital Grants Small Awards Scheme. The Created by Rugby League World Cup 2021 Capital Grants Programme provides funding to support grassroots rugby league to help making an impact in rugby league communities. The following awards that were announced over the last week total in excess of £143,000, taking the grand total of small grants to more than £566,000, which is fantastic. So we'll rotate through each of these, take it in turn. So in Cumbria, Glasson Rangers, first of all, from Maryport, they've had £12,100 towards refurbishing the clubhouse and changing room facilities.
Nice. Maryport ARLFC have had £3,600 towards kit and equipment to grow the number of junior players and teams from minis through to under 14s.
Into Lancashire and Cheshire, the Caddishead Rhinos from Salford have had £14,500 towards floodlighting, which will allow players to train on their own club's pitches over the winter months instead of having to hire more costly external facilities.
Haresfinch Rugby and Community Club in St Helens have had £5,300 towards kit and equipment for their new under-6s team and towards groundworks to create a bespoke junior rugby pitch.
Manchester Met University have had £1,400 towards equipment to create opportunities for new students to enjoy rugby league as the game builds towards the Rugby League World Cup.
Ryland Sharks in Warrington have had £8,700 towards playing and ground equipment to help set up a new junior club at Bennett's Recreation Ground.
The Warrington Wolves Charitable Foundation have had £11,200 paid to them towards new wheelchairs and equipment to help increase participation in the wheelchair format of the game.
Woolston Rovers have had £14,900 towards refurbishment of their changing rooms and the conversions of a portable cabin into a toilet block.
London and South East, we'll start with the Elmbridge Eagles Rugby Club in Surrey. They've had £10,400 for playing equipment and to facilitate improvements at their Oaken Lane ground.
The Soldiers League charity, which is the Army Wheelchair Rugby League in Aldershot, have had 11,000